Semaland originally only had single-celled life. However, some of the native organisms produce oxygen, so the planet has a breathable atmosphere. Semaland has 3 continents: the Semi-mainland, North Semaland, and Antarctica. North Semaland is partially covered in glacier. Antarctica is almost completely covered in glacier. However, parts of the Semi-mainland have an average temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius, which varies very little throughout the year. Multicelled organisms were introduced to land, but not to the ocean. The Semi-mainland contains most of the planet's people because of its desirable climate. There is a large mountain range through the center called the Semaland Mountains. The Semaland Mountains are colder than the rest of the mainland. West of the Semaland Mountains, most of the organisms are native to human world. Many edible plants that are farmed on human world grow wild on Semaland because there is limited competition. However, not all of the plants are edible to people. When there is unvegetated ground, many of the first plants to grow produce edible vegetables. The vegetables can be maintained by annually tilling the soil. Otherwise, the vegetables are replaced by other plants, including wheat. The wheat can be maintained by removing shrubs. Otherwise, the land is taken over by shrubs, which often produce fruit. The shrubs can be maintained by removing small trees. Otherwise, the shrubs are replaced by small trees. Many of the small trees produce edible fruit. If larger trees are allowed to grow, they eventually replace the small trees. Most of the large trees do not produce food for people. People often let fruits and vegetables grow wild in their yards so that they can harvest them and eat them. For example, people sometimes harvest oranges and make orange juice. The juice can be filtered to remove the pulp. Wild wheat is fertilized and harvested by machines. Other crops are farmed. There are relatively few weeds, pests, and diseases on Semaland. East of the Semaland Mountains, most of the organisms are native to Plymouth World. The west contains more humans, and the east contains more Plymouths, but both sides of the mountains contain humans and Plymouths.